You just didn't know. First motherfucker, when you slow, you blow. You snooze, you lose. That's how this shit go down here. Reality is what you can get away with. That's why any law I can break, I'll break that shit. I will break that shit. I do stuff like that just for the hell of it. You know, for the hell of it. You know, I will break that doggone law. Because it ain't about moralism. So, the Magus was an alchemist, or Magna. See, she's taking different things. It's called the Magus in the occult realm. She puts it as Anne Rice as Magnus. Was an alchemist who stole the immortal blood of a vampire. That's a god. You see, but in a larger sense, Anne Rice views all vampires as symbolic as alchemists who can transform blood into spiritual essence or spiritual eternal substance. What are they talking about when I'm all this shit here? Melanin. Melanin. All right? Amel, a spirit who fuses with Akasha to create the first vampire. Well, Amel is in the book Sumerian mythology. She even says in here she got the shit by studying in Sumerian mythology. It's in a book. And Amel, when you look at that mythology, it's talking about melanin. Guess what the other word melanin is? Drug. In Zoroastrianism, the word melanin means drug. That's why I tell you, the pharmaceutical is good. That's sorcery. That's alchemy. So the white boy, see what it is like I said yesterday, the white boy is just saying only pharmaceutical, no natural drugs, or no natural homeopathic or natural herbs. So that's because the doggone doctors are getting paid, and the whole thing is based on the pharmaceutical industry is ruling this mother. That's imperialism and fascism, oligarchy, or evilarchy. But when they give you one thing and tell you the other one, but pharmaceutical comes from chemistry, and chemistry comes from alchemy, and chemistry is the science of ancient chemists. So pharmaceutical is not necessarily bad. You see what I'm saying? It's just that when they tell you that you can't deal with the natural things, because I'm telling you, that goddamn Oxycontin, that shit to be killing the little white kids, that's some good ass shit that you can get. They get at the cancer patients. If you hurting, you get some damn Oxycontin. Now that's some good shit. You know, that's some good shit. But that's just alchemy. See, we deal with these things, but we are not a people that study nothing. You know what I'm saying? So the Afrocentric people, we got locked into studying history, but there's more to it than that. Like I said yesterday, that's a white man thing. Eating some pussy is a white man thing. And come to find out, that shit is African. You see what I'm saying? That is African. You see. But like I said again, but we don't study nothing. And I said how the white boy, yesterday, how the white boy got it from the Kama Sutra, and it became a phenomenon in Britain after they colonized India, got the Kama Sutra, started studying that. It's called Kunaling or Kunaling, and they started studying the Kama Sutra, and it became a phenomenon in Britain, and then the cousins over here got the phenomenon, and we said the white boys invented that shit, we just forgot it. You see what I'm saying? Until we caught on in the motherfucking 80s, or we caught on before, but wouldn't tell nobody in the damn 70s. You know what I'm saying? Now, y'all should insist on it, at least, every now and then. You see? Because I know some brothers now, because you give it to a nigga now, he gonna do it better than the white boy. I know some brothers now say they done mastered the art of this shit. Mastered the art on it. You just gotta stay about 45 minutes on it. Amel, the spirit who fuses with Akasha to create the first vampire. Rice had read that Amel was an ancient Middle Eastern word for evil. There go that word again, evil. The ancient evil. The book Dean Koon's Phantoms, or the movie Dean Koon's Phantoms. The ancient evil is melanin. The ancient evil is melanin. Now what does it mean? It means the primordial substance that existed before creation. Dark matter. And that primordial substance that existed before creation was used to create humans. You see what I'm saying? To create humans. So the ancient evil has nothing to do with wicked. You see what I'm saying? But at this particular point, wicked might be good. Okay, so known to witches, Mercury and Maret, Amel appears to them several nights after the first communication from Egypt, warning them that they will need his power. He is jealous of their bodies and their ability to feel pleasure. And he brags that he can draw blood. So in so many words, to go on down to the particular part, Amel fuses and enters Akasha's body, seeking a place to fuse with her. And basically, in so many words, Akasha, these two witches put this curse on her, and she's infused with Amel, and therefore the whole vampire phenomenon becomes manifested. Now, what is the vampire, and what is this particular Dracula? Even in the white boys, they call melanin the Dracula particle. Now, the vampire comes out at night and drinks the blood. Melanin comes out at night and goes into the central nervous system, and it heals. Vampire comes out at night, drinks the blood, and what happens? You become immortal. Your wounds heal up. You see? So we're talking about an alchemical mythology. Alchemical mythology. Melanin is black. Dracula wears black. The red is for the blood. Santa Claus wears the black and red. You see what I'm saying? It's the black and red. All this is mythology for melanin or alchemy. So even though Bram Stoker got most of his motifs, he got most of his stuff from a dream, he had to study for years, and he fused in a lot of the occult. He's fusing a lot of stuff up from the occult in to make the complete story. And basically, he just made a new age mythology, because how does mythology come? Mythology comes in the beginning from the dream realm. That's what we're talking about again, the dream realm. You see, so in so many words, Akasha is this particular entity, which is the queen of the damned, which Aaliyah was killed for, to make this movie. You see, it's a sacrifice that goes on and stuff. So that's very key. That's very key. The blood of Christ, same thing. It's dealing with the whole vampire thing. So Anne Rice's vampire companion goes into all of this. Born in darkness. It's called a dark gift. When a person becomes a vampire, they call it the dark gift. Dark blood. The dark court. Dark blood is vampire blood. The infusion of Amel, the dark gift, becomes an immortal, transformed through vampire blood. This is all talking about melanin. That's why the movie Blade that came out. We talked about all this in the other movies, in the other stuff before. But look like I'm gonna have to out-talk the damn thing today. But that's cool. Not like I can't do the shit. But anyway, all right. Let's go on. Couple other things. Okay, now. I mentioned yesterday that this 9/11 thing was to renew an American spirit Not for white folks, but to get you into the bullshit. So in so many words, if they can get you into the patriotic thing to come together with them for America to be a better place and stuff, they can somehow ensure their future. This can't happen, but therefore, that's not going to stop the white boy from doing this shit. Get where I'm coming from? Okay, now, dealing with that, and I talked about that when they did this whole festival, that's what it was, and they blew up the building, and they did this whole festival, that was to create an American renewal of a spirit. And what they do is it's almost like a form of possession where they come and they're using you because you're the one that have the alchemical energy to forecast and to keep this bullshit going. Or so they think. But this is the science. So if they could get you to want America to survive and wave flags and sing songs, it's a ritual, but it is to renew a failing, sinking ship called America, which is the most evil, insidious empire ever to exist. Why? Because it can do... America is the most evil empire because it does, diabolical things under the guise of freedom. So they kill people, they control the entire planet, but America never does anything wrong. Somebody said, I said, why you going in other people's country? And some old black nigga said, well, we go into other people's country because we're not a hostile nation. I said, nation. I said, motherfucker, what goddamn planet you been living on for the last 500 years? When they march your ass in somebody's damn country and another motherfucker shoot your balls off, you think that ain't a hostile nature? Your balls saying some hostility going on. You see? But they got to get into the American spirit. I talked about that. It's on that the World Trade Center takes back there, the American spirit. Well, here's an internet piece that's dealing with the same thing. So whatever it is, the government is taking the occult-minded people, the people who know about the occult, the government is trying to get them into the bullshit. And this is what they say. Okay, this is what they say. Let me get this thing just right. Okay. The first aircraft that hit the World Trade Center at 8:45 September 11th. Now, some of this stuff is occult and metaphysically right, but they'll fuse it in to say the forecast on what they want. So the first aircraft that hit at 8:48 September the 11th, 2001, the moment was aligned with the rising of Mercury on the eastern horizon of the nadir of New York rested in the southern crown of Sagittarius. Wisdom has come, and with it the apocalypse and Armageddon. Well, they got most of that right, because that was a symbol, and that was the jumping off point to get this damn war started. So they said it had something to do with the Mercury and the southern crown of Sagittarius. And it said, and wisdom had come, and the knowledge of the apocalypse of Armageddon. This is the same crown of man identified with the pharaohs of Egypt and the first of the four horsemen of the apocalypse of St. John. So they got a lot of this stuff here metaphysically encoded. But I said, okay, let me see where they're going with this. Make no mistake about it, the Holocaust in New York on September the 11th is similar. The similarity occurred December the 7th, 1941. Because it did, because the one from, Pearl Harbor was fake. We know that they needed to get in the war, and they faked that whole shit and had the emperor bomb the shit. Now we know that because now here it is. They looking for Saddam Hussein. What's the name? Bin Laden. They're looking for Bin Laden, and here it is. They want to kill Bin Laden. All right, but Bin Laden is in on it with them. That's all buddies for Bush and all that shit. All buddies His father got a scholarship right there at Harvard to this day, and they ain't gonna never catch no damn Bin Laden. You see what I'm saying? Because Bin Laden is probably somewhere with his damn, in the west wing of the goddamn White House, chilling. See what I'm saying? Because that's Bush's all buddies. You see what I'm saying? Probably fucking one of them damn daughters of his. Bin Laden screwing them little daughters in college, or Bush daughters in college. Don't skate. It might be funny, but be ritualistic shit like that going down. You see, it might sound like a funny and all, but them little girls and shit might be in Bin Laden room and shit. Osama Mama. Now, but we know that Pearl Harbor was fake. We know that the Japanese bombed it. No. What happened now? They say they want to kill Osama bin Laden because he was behind the bombing of the World Trade Center, right? But what did the emperor that was behind the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and what did they do when the shit was over and they dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki? They let the damn emperor go. Because that stuff was all hooked up. That was an occult jamboree festival of the whole World War II. To instate a fake isn't really Jew as the real Jew, which he's not the real Hebrew, and to do all types of occult type of anything from cloning, anything from banking, anything you want to name, eugenics. That whole World War was about that shit, staged by the United States, Germany, and the Illuminati, or whatever you want to call it, the European people. You see what I'm saying? So that whole thing was doggone fake. And the Pearl Harbor was, he's right when they say this same thing happened December the 7th, Pearl Harbor. On Pearl Harbor. Was that December when that happened? Yeah, okay. The people who did, now here come the bullshit now. People who did not cherish freedom have no idea that what America will fight for. Now, wait a minute. One thing about us is we should know that we ain't never lived in no fucking free country. See what I'm saying? Because freedom, number one, even if you even now, we don't even have to even go back to the doggone we want to deal with this now because, see, we don't have to even go back to segregation or whatever type thing that black people been getting kicked in the ass. But basically, a country where if you don't have no money, they cut off your electricity, you ain't free. Freedom is based on, even if the black upward mobile, if you don't have no money, you're not free. And the reason why you're not free, because you live in a capitalistic society, your whole life is centered around chasing money to survive. That's not freedom. You see, that's not freedom. Get where I'm coming from? So a capitalistic society can never be a free society. You see what I'm saying? And your whole world, you think so? Go to fucking New York. They're high rent up that motherfucker. Go to D.C. Wherever you got high rent, it's much more hostile. People on lockdown. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happened to Atlanta now. The rent done raised, and now you ain't got time to do nothing but worry about when your goddamn light's gonna get cut off, or when somebody gonna kick you out of the door. You see what I'm saying? So this cherish the freedom thing. So this says, people who do not cherish freedom have no idea what America will fight for. Now here it is, they get ready to get you into the bullshit now. The event which brought down the Twin Towers and the Building 7 and New York World Trade Center will be a boon for freedom. Why? They will crystallize a resolve that has been lost since the Vietnam War. So they're saying that people don't love freedom, or people don't like freedom since the Vietnam War, because that's when motherfuckers were saying this war shit was bullshit. Remember? So they're saying if you're not about war, you're not about freedom. You see, American people love peace. And you know goddamn well the government wrote this shit here. Now, one thing that David Icke did say, if you are a person for peace, you would never go to war. Even if the person is coming to kill you, you would never go to war, because to go to war means you are against peace. You see what I'm saying? And two countries that say they are for peace and fighting, they're not for peace. Otherwise, they wouldn't go to war. Now say America loves peace. America's ass is in everybody's country on the globe. Look at this foolishness. But more than peace, they love freedom, and to act and do as they wish in harmony with their fellow humans. I want to know what planet these motherfuckers say this shit is coming from. They love freedom. Your whole existence is because some people didn't want you to have some shit that they got. And not only are they jealous of you to this day whenever you get something. You see what I'm saying? And the only reason why they say we are all in it together and we all one family now because they own every damn thing. And you the motherfuckers paying the rent. See what I'm saying? So here is foolishness. America loves peace. But more than peace, they love freedom. And they wish to live in harmony with their fellow humans. But when the threat of the magnitude of Pearl Harbor and the World Trade Center occurs, they come together. You know what I'm saying? With compassion against the tyrants of the external world. You see what I'm saying? Like Alexander the Great, who was a doggone tyrant himself. The American sense of justice will take up the Greek banner of Hellenism and complete the destiny of democracy as the human race is born again in the next cosmic age. There you go. They want to take this whole freedom thing, this illusion of freedom, and bring it to the next cosmic age. So this whole thing, they know that their ass is through. So they blow up the building and they get motherfuckers with the we are the world shit so that they think that that's going to save them. But it don't take no more than two people to know what time it is. And that's why this shit is about us. You see what I'm saying? Because if I get some power, them niggas is gone. And any nigga that's staying with them too. You see what I'm saying? Because the first thing they're going to do is they're going to get that bullshit black preacher, who is the black preacher is the worst motherfucker human we got. The goddamn black preacher. Fuck him, and that's like Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, he's going to be the first motherfucker we're going to have to kill. Because they know anytime they wanted to doggone do some shit against us, in the history of America, they go to that goddamn black church. We wouldn't even be counted in the census until the black preachers got together and with the churches counted up all the doggone black people in America. And you best believe, and make no bones about it, if you go against that white man, that black preacher will go against you. Because he is the biggest government agent there is. Why would they raise him up? Don't you know that anything that is counter government or anything that is supposed to be better for you, the government would oppose it? You see what I'm saying? Anything that's got anything to do with illumination, that's why the church is fake. That's why one on every corner. If they knew that the damn Christianity worked for you, there'd be raids on the church every Sunday. The event is simply a precursor to the birth of cosmic awareness. So cosmic awareness is supposed to be this white man brand of freedom that is fucked over the original people on the earth. And freedom means to take the raw material of the black people and sell it back to the black people. Because the entire earth is ours, and the raw material, all raw material is coming from Africa. You see what I'm saying? It is the forecast by prophets around the globe for 5,000 years. So they want to take American freedom for the next 5,000 years, and in so many words, like I said, they're trying to save themselves by getting you to believe the dumb shit. You see. Now Now is the time for all good men and women to come together and aid the cosmos. See, they put the cosmos stuff up in there. But they keep talking about Alexander the Great. Alexander was a fucking colonizer and an imperial thief. Alexander offered the sleeping world under the ancient Persians a tonic to awake the souls and the ideals of Olympus by taking over ancient Kemet and burning down the damn libraries. These cities that accepted the banner rose with Alexander. Those that scoffed at the dream were taken into slavery. Well, goddamn, this is a contradiction. You gonna enslave a motherfucker, and that's supposed to be something. But then again, that's what America say. If you ain't with them, you finish. Now, ain't this some shit here? He's talking about some dream, and if you didn't go with the view of Alexander, you were taken into slavery. And this is supposed to be what they want for the next 500 years. Is a motherfucker who ain't down with the crackers and down with Bush go into slavery. You see? As their reward for their arrogance. Well, goddamn, who's more arrogant than the cracker? Alexander was murdered by his associates, and the whole world mourned the loss of the ideal of freedom for 23 centuries. Now the period of mourning is over, and justice will no longer be blindfolded, while liberty is restored as the fundamental pillar of heaven. So in so many words, they're talking about this democracy, this American dream, becoming the pillar for heaven to go into the whole next 5,000 years. So in so many words, this is a grand ritual that went on. You see, and they want to get people into the bull. You see, so this is some stuff that's, you know, so this is on www.silom.net, New York, WTC, Internet, HTML. So www.silom.net, New York, WTC. This is the internet site. You see what I'm saying? And it's called Liberty Shines Her Light Against Smoke of Hell. So they don't want to go to hell, so they're taking and they got the Statue of Liberty as the particular matriarchal figure to shine the light against that. You see what I'm saying? Shine the light against that. Now, what we need to do so we can get this thing going the right way, please, when we go to the break, sign the mailing list. Sign the mailing list. That way people can contact you, and that way you can know when events is coming up. So when we go to the break, there's going to be a mailing list at the table, and we got food. You got the food, right? You got the food in the back. We got some sisters that went through the trouble of preparing the food. So patronize the actual the sisters that make the effort. That's spiritual, as well as get on the mailing list so we can have more of these events, because we plan on bringing just about anybody with a voice when they stop in town, when we get in contact with them, bring them through Atlanta. And because we said yesterday, more and more places are being shut down when it comes to conscious people gathering. Now, like I said, this is another thing they're doing. They did it on the last two conferences. They did it on the conference, and they did it the last time here. The conference, the gathering of the masters in 2000 and the Hermetic Summit in 2001, they have some drunk and Latin. When we first opened up the first night here on December the 22nd, they'll have some old drunk white man. He'll come in there like he all drunk. And that's a fucking government agent and a spy and all that. Now, a drunk white man showed up at the meeting of the Metaphysical Masters in 2000. A drunk white man showed up at the Hermetic Summit, and I had to put his ass out. And a drunk man showed up here the last time, a drunk white man. That's a government trick. And that's a spy. It's, so first of all, a white man wouldn't dare walk up in here the right thing. Like, you like, who the fuck are you? So what it is, he stumbled in like he's drunk and he don't know what the hell he's doing. And it done happened 3 fucking times. So, what's that? And a drunk white man showed up? Was he drunk? Was he drunk? Yeah, that's what's happening. They'll come in, or either they'll come in like they don't know what time it is. That's the shit, and it's going on. And even in New York, when Dick Gregory was speaking for the 9/11 thing, a drunk white motherfucker shows up. That's the new thing that's going down. Huh? Yeah, it could be all kinds of things. You see what I'm saying? So that's very key on how this thing is. But the drunk man showed up here again the last lecture. You know, and most niggas will let him in. But I'd bounce one out at him at Summit. You got to get the fuck on. You know. Like I said, your meetings now should not include the Caucasian. Now, 2 reasons. Number one, like Chancellor Williams say, they have meetings on you every day and you ain't invited. They've been meeting on you for 500 years and you ain't never been invited. Number 2, it's like the Nation of Islam, what Elijah Muhammad knew. They say when white people come on the premises, if a brother's up here saying shit against white people, the white people ain't got a problem with it because they know better. Black people start squirming. They get uncomfortable if a white man is in the audience and somebody's talking shit about crackers. We lock up. Oh, man. You know. You know. And it all, and every now and then it gets so bad till some brother or sister stand up and go, I want to apologize for black people. You know. So that's why you don't let white people in here, because black people feel uncomfortable when the crackers up in here and somebody's talking about the doggone enemy. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you don't let them up in here. That's why I don't allow them to come in my lectures. You see what I'm saying? So somebody say, you know, we want you advertised at Sevenon and all them places. I say no, because I don't want the white people to look at this thing and go, oh, this is some hot shit, because they'll be the first to come with some something and be coming up here and all, and I got to turn their ass away. And then it'll be my fault, and I'll be in the wrong because I advertised for them to come. They say, well, this is false advertising. Why you advertising a white establishment if you don't want white folks to come? And it really ain't got nothing to do with white people. But it's got something to do with the way we behave when around white people. And damn it, like I said, even with black people, you invite 200 people, and goddamn 199 of them be agents. So the conscious niggas are suspects. Now I know damn well we ain't gonna have goddamn Miss Ann and Beaver Cleaver up in this shit. You see what I'm saying? You know? You know? And I'm telling you, I say, you know, because I know some agents, you know, and, you know, and some, you know, I know some agents, been knowing some agents for years and all, you know, and it was all cool with them. They come all the time till I asked one for some pussy one day, and then she must have caught on. You see, about 2 years ago, I said, okay, I'm going to ask her for some booty. Let's see what happened then. And she said, damn, that nigga asked me for some booty and I ain't never seen her no more. You know, that shakes up shit. You know what I'm saying? They can't go back to the agency and go, what should I do? You know what I'm saying? You know, what should I do? This nigga asked me for some booty, so what should I do? When they go back to the agency. You see what I'm saying? You know, so I said, damn, you know, yeah. You know, so what you, so how much time you got? 2 minutes? Okay, let's see a couple other things. We're going to deal with a couple other things here. Couple other things, let's see here, we can deal with. Here's a book called Gert's Voodoo War. I talked about this the last time. The Gert's Voodoo War is a book. You get this stuff at the comic book stores. At the comic book stores. And the Gert's Voodoo War is a group of people in the future fighting against the Illuminati with the voodoo. There's only one thing, though. The Illuminati in here is using the Palo Manombe, that's Zarabanda stuff. So in so many words, they want the people to turn against the Palo or Zarabanda, you see, by using the voodoo. And all of it's the same, you see what I'm saying? But still yet they won't, this is a trick they do, but still yet, there's a lot of stuff in here on the whole voodoo thing, but you can find this stuff at the comic book stores, at Oxford Comics on Peachtree, on Piedmont.
What's the author?
By C.J. Carella, Carella. So you can find these things. There's an entire series on the Moors, Moorish history, about maybe 10 or 12 books on the Moors called, but it's in these role-playing games, it's called The Tribunals of Hermes. The Iberian Peninsula is the name of the role-playing. The Tribunals of Hermes, the Iberian Peninsula, and it's a whole history on the Moors in the role-playing games. This is where they put in the science in the comic book stores. You see, there's GURPS Voodoo, there's GURPS Illuminati, there's GURPS Atlantis, GURPS Africa. You see what I'm saying? All of this, you see, now, any Vampire Masquerade series. Now, apparently, there's a brother named Azariah Bay, was a brother from New York. He used to have me to come up and start lecturing. He used to have me to come up and lecture. And then he's in the Moorish thing, so what he did was he took heed and started studying his occult side and add more stuff to the Moorish stuff. He was inspired by me, and he's done a couple of videos and stuff. And his last one, he says that the whole 9/11 thing, they got it in the role-playing game Vampire Masquerade. And they got the different aspects of dance. And here's the Vampire Masquerade. It's called Vampire Masquerade Series. This is the clan book, Setites, which is dealing with the whole Osirian thing, Anubis, Anpu, Anubis, Aset, and all that in the comic book stores. But it's in the role-playing games. So basically, they get these things, they study this stuff, and they play that, and they go into the whole role-playing system. So the role-playing games is real big. Now, it's real big. How much time you got? Okay, yeah. You want to wind it down? So when we come back, I'll talk about Melniboné, which is the ancient empire of Melniboné, ruled by the ancient people, and Elric, who has to destroy Melniboné, because Melniboné is in decay. That's like us. We are in decay. But Melniboné, that's melanin. All of this stuff is in the role-playing games and stuff, as well as other role-playing games. But just about anything in the society, you can find in the role-playing section of these. They got some in Borders. They have some role-playing section. But if you want to get the complete library, you got to go to Oxford Comics on Piedmont. Okay. Damn, they started back the music as soon as I started speaking. Ain't that a bitch? Now I wonder if that's a conspiracy or what. Anyway, this guy, Gary Greenberg, he wrote the book, The Moses Mystery, and he has a new book out called, I think it's called 101 Bible Myths. Gary Greenberg, which is Gary Greenberg is a Jew anthropologist, and he's over several anthropological societies, but he's coming out in his Moses Mystery as well as his Bible myths. He's coming out saying that your original Hebrews was nothing but a sect of Egyptians or Camites, which is the same story. We know that the Hebrews and the Egyptians are one and the same. And we talk about a family dispute between Akhenaten leaving that whole 9 yards. So anyway, the Israelites, the fake Jews, are attacking him because the simple fact that they know that the original Hebrews were black. And they're still trying to, front their way through history that they are the original people. I mean, the original Hebrews are that they are the God's chosen people and all. and all. And this is a whole thing this is the whole priesthood behind the whole Illuminati and all. But anyway, he has a new book out called 101 Bible Myths. Gary Greenberg, which is the guy that wrote the Moses Mystery. And basically he's showing how this basically, all of this stuff is nothing but fragments, fragments of ancient lore. In this particular case, fragments of stuff that came out of the mystery school compiled into basically your later day one book system like your Torah, your Quran, your Bible, and all of that type thing. But the Torah, interesting enough, is taken from a lot of Hermetic texts, especially that Tanakh. The Tanakh, the Tanakh, the Torah book, the Tanakh has a lot of Egyptian terminology in it, which is the first 5 books of Moses. But in this particular case, it's the first 5 books of Moses. But in this particular case, it is a lot of the Hermetic texts that used to be coming from the Library of Alexandria and the different temples and stuff is encoded into this particular Tanakh. So the Tanakh is, they sell them, they cost like, you can find them at used bookstores or whatever and all that. It's the Old Testament, but has a whole lot of Hebrew terminology or Egyptian terminology in it. Egyptian terminology. And it's this thick. This Old Testament is this thick, but yet the Bible is supposed to have an Old Testament in it, and the Bible is this thick. So you talking about if the Old Testament or this Tanakh is this thick that you can still buy, then you and it's just tons and tons of terminology. They got Isis in there, they got Horus up in there, and different Typhon. And all of this particular Egyptian terminology is in that particular Tanakh, but the book is this thick. But yes, you get in the Old Testament in the Bible, and the Bible is this thick with Old and New Testament. And basically, but they tell you it was diligently cut up, transfigured, and prepared, and whatever type thing. This particular book here, which is very interesting, I'm trying to get people to understand the whole Dionysian aspect. This particular book here, called The Gods of Love and Ecstasy, Traditions of Shiva and Dionysus, by Alan Danielou, D-A-N-I-E-L-O-U. Alan Danielou, D-A-N-I-E-L-O-U, Alan Danielou. It's called The Gods of Love and Ecstasy. This is the original motif that went into Jesus when they watered him down to the girly boy. Little girly man, Jesus, but before it was that, it was the he-man, Dionysus and Shiva, which is nothing but the primordial god of all time, Set. The much more classical piece is Dionysus by Walter F. Otto. Walter F. O-T-T-O, Otto. This is a much more classical piece, but if you want to get to a simplistic piece, the best book is called Ecstasy by Robert R. Johnson? What is it? Robert R. Johnson, Ecstasy. That's the one you want to get. Robert R. Johnson has a lot of good books that break down to this. He, she, we, transformation, ecstasy. It's a bunch of them. Any of those books are dynamite. They're real sticks, real short and straight to the point. He, she, we. And there's one called, the We book is on romantic love, which is very key. Like I also said, for the people that is either in a relationship or had a relationship, and even if you're not in one and you just want to make sense of what the whole shit was about when you was in a relationship, then you need to get this book, The Science of Love by John Baines. And whether your partner was a schizoid, deranged, psychopath or whatever, and you was all confused, get this particular book, The Science of Love. Is dynamite. The other book to get is Love is a Fire. Love is a Fire by Llewellyn Vaughan Lee, which is a dynamite book, because what happens here is this. The person that you fall in love with, the love is not coming from that person. That person is just produced the energy to enhance the love that's inside of you. So your soul is what's in love, not the person. And so that's the possessive thing. So what happened here, when you feeling all teary-eyed and all in love, that's the soul inside of you responding. The love is in you. You see, now these motherfuckers here are tripping, turning stuff up, but the love is inside of you. And that person just came and produced the energy to enhance that love inside of you. And so therefore, you keep thinking that the love was that particular person. That's the possessive nature and the misunderstanding. So that love is always in you, and you can conjure that love up with even out the damn crazy schizoid person. And that's what the book Love is a Fire is talking about. The love in you, but when they say the love of God, they're not talking about some spook creature out in the cosmos. The love of God is the God inside of you. That's the mystery. But it's called Love is a Fire. And in so many words, the Kundalini energy is what brings that love. What brings that love. So that book, Lou Ellen Vaughan Lee, Love is a Fire. Here's another book called Love and Will by Rollo May, which proves that love is a daemon. It's a demon. Now, the Christian representation of demon is a degraded form. The word demon comes from the word Damien, comes from the word Amen, and it's talking about one's own true nature, or one's own true self. So if a person is telling you to rebel against the demons, they're talking about rebel against your own soul, because your soul is the Damien. So love is a Damien. And if anybody's ever been in love, how it takes over your life, it's like a possession. You know what I'm saying? It's like a possession. That's a cosmic force. But they will explain the deeper mysteries of it in this book, The Science of Love, that you can also tap into. In that particular, those particular deeper mysteries. I want a sister who wants to undertake this to come up and read the difference between the matriarchal system and the patriarchal system. This is given to me by Brother David, who that's the name of the book? Yeah, Brother David. What's the name of the book? Saharasia. Okay, this is it. All right. And it tells the difference between the, I saw this book before. You know what I saw this book before. Yeah, shoot. Regret I didn't steal it. Yeah. But anyway, what's the guy named James DeMayo? James DeMayo. Saharasia. Saharasia. And anyway, I need a sister to come up and since the sister is, and read the difference between the patriarchal system and the matriarchal system. But he called it armored patris and also unarmored matrix. So anybody want to come up and get rid of the stage fright, and read this thing? Well, I guess she gonna do it. Look at her. Oh, you? Yeah, come on. Oh, okay, yeah. What's that? Oh, you gonna read this, Stella?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Oh, okay.
This one I left in the back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's mine. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can read this and all. Some people just want to get in front of the camera. Yes. I just read out the difference between the two.
Okay.
So,
we're talking about armored patrices, and this is the patrilineal on the father's side, or the masculine side. In infants and children, first of all, they're less indulgent, less physical affection. Infants are traumatized.
well, I think you should read.
Which one should I
You
read?
should go like this.
Oh, you want me to do?
Yeah, do the
Okay,
comparison.
we'll do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what I do is go from patrilineal to matrilineal, patrices to matrices.
You need to get up in here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You need to get up in the Kool-Aid. Here you go. Okay.
In infants and children, they're less indulgent on the patris side, more indulgent on the matris side.
Which is the feminine.
Okay.
So just say masculine, feminine, so they'll know.
Okay. They are less physically affectionate on the masculine side, more physically affectionate on the feminine side. The infants are traumatized on the masculine side. The infants are not traumatized on the feminine side. The masculine side is painful initiation. Feminine is absence of pain and initiation. Okay, masculine, they are dominated by family. Feminine is children's democracy. Masculine is male segregated houses or military. Feminine is the mixed-sex children's houses or the aged villages. That's on the infants and children. Okay, in sexuality, we have the masculine side, which are restrictive, anxious attitudes. Feminine is permissive, pleasurable attitudes. Masculine is genital mutilation. Feminine is absence of genital mutilation. Masculine, female virginity is taboo. Feminine, no female virginity is taboo. Okay. Masculine vaginal intercourse is taboo. Feminine, no intercourse is taboo.
Wow. All right, sisters, take heed.
Okay. On the masculine, adolescent lovemaking is severely censored. Feminine, adolescent lovemaking is freely permitted. In masculine, homosexual tendencies plus severe taboo. Feminine, absence of homosexual tendencies or strong taboo. On the masculine, incest tendencies plus is severe taboo. On the feminine side, the absence of incest tendencies or strong incest is taboo. Masculine, concubine or prostitution may flourish. On the feminine side, the absence of concubine or prostitution. That's in sexuality. Now, in women, on the masculine side, the limits are on freedom. On the feminine side, the limits are on more freedom. Masculine, inferior status. Feminine is equal status. Masculine is vaginal blood taboo, hymenal menstruation and childbirth blood. On the feminine side, no vaginal blood is taboo. Masculine cannot choose own mate. Okay. On the feminine, can choose own mate.
We're going to have an auction, brothers.
Masculine cannot divorce at all. On the feminine, can divorce at will.
Kick them to the goddamn curb.
Okay. On the masculine, the male controls fertility. We need to start bringing the condoms in. Okay, on the feminine, the female controls fertility. Masculine, the reproductive functions are delegated. And on the feminine, the reproductive functions are celebrated. Shower, baby shower. Okay, the cultural and family and social structure. Patrilineal descent is masculine. Matrilineal descent is feminine. Patriarchal marital household, masculine. Matrilocal marital household, feminine. Compulsive lifelong monogamy. Compulsive lifelong monogamy is patrilineal, masculine. Non-compulsive monogamy is feminine. On the male side is often polygamous. knowingly or unknowingly. Okay, wait, let me try to tell you that. Hold on. And on the female side, they are rarely polygamous. The masculine is authoritarian, the feminine is democratic. The masculine is hierarchical, and the feminine is egalitarian. The masculine is political economic centralism. The feminine is work democratic. Masculine military specialists are caste. Feminine, no full-time military. If you need to. Okay? If you need be. Okay, the masculine is violent and sadistic. The feminine, I don't believe that, is non-violent and absent of sadism.
That ain't sitting well with them sisters. That Martin Luther King.
There was this Mars energy up in here, man. Okay, so in religion, we have the masculine, male father-oriented. The feminine is female mother-oriented. The masculine is avoidance of pleasure, pain-seeking. Feminine is female, welcome, and institutionalized pleasure. Okay, the religion on the masculine side is inhibition, fear of nature. The feminine is spontaneity, nature worship. Masculine is full-time religious specialist. Feminine is no full-time religious specialist. So you go and change religion when you need be, when it's time. When you know something ain't right, you're going to move on to another one. And just tell Okay, the masculine is male shamans and healers. The feminine is male or female shamans and healers. The masculine is strict behavioral codes. The feminine is absence of strict behavioral codes. Now, see, right now, this is why you have some males that would go to male doctors, but they would not go to female doctors. They'll sit up and die with prostate cancer and anything else before they would go to a female doctor. But you have sisters, when they start get the hurting and something ain't right, they going to go to a man or a woman. It don't matter. And I'm not trying to uphold Western medicine by any means, but that's just the way it is. That's all we
So now, if this doesn't seem non-legitimate, this is a big book with a whole lot of documentation in it. Give her a black hand. Okay. This is a book called Saharasia, the 4000 BC origin of child abuse, sexual repression, warfare, and social violence in the desert and around the world by James. What's that? DeMayo and Saharasia, which is interesting. Now, if this sounds too good, the women's side sounds too good, don't use the modern woman as the criteria, because it's not talking about the modern woman, because the modern woman is a victim of patriarchal society. So therefore, some of this stuff, it doesn't apply to them. They were talking about a past system. You understand? So when you say, well, this can't be true because I know women and so and so, it's not talking about the modern model. The modern model is in recess or in exile or in deterioration. So some of the biggest male chauvinists are women. You ever hear the thing at all? Most of my men are friends. Most of my friends are men. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So we understand that we are victims of the patriarchal culture. So that's one thing also. This particular book here, The Way of the Secret Lover, by Christopher Hyatt, Ph.D., and Lon Milo Duquette. The Way of the Secret Lover. It says sex magic, tantra, and tarot. The Way of the Secret Lover is talking about the secret lover that is beyond just the physical lover. So there's a secret lover that each person can contact to fulfill a spiritual aspect. That's very key, because in about a couple of days, it's going to build and it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger, where you're going to get these visits, because got to go back through this again, with these spirits. And I'll go back through that to the people that missed that last night, to try to get a greater understanding on what's getting ready to go down on this particular warfare. It's not going to hit from the way people are thinking on, it's going to hit based on the apocalyptic aspect or based on physical elements. It's going to hit from this is a war from the inner self. So the way of the secret lover is, and which is very key to set the stage for the visitation of the secret lover that's getting ready to come down. And this has nothing to do if you fulfill with your husband. That's a different duty. He is fulfilling your physical duty, but there is a secret lover that has to come to both male and female to fulfill your spiritual duty. Lon Milo Duquette was Christopher Hyatt, Ph.D., and L-O-N, Milo, M-I-L-O, Duquette. Lon Milo Duquette and Christopher Hyatt. And this is still in print. It's called Sex, Magic, Tantra, and Tarot. And the subtitle, Sex, Magic, Tantra, and Tarot. And the subtitle is Way of the Secret Lover. Now it says, each of us has a secret lover, a lover who awaits just behind the erotic images of that flood of our minds during sexual arousal and in sleep. This is very key. This is a key book, because this is what's getting ready to go down. This is how this shit is getting ready to jump off. And I talked about this last night. And I said I will introduce bibliography as we go on. So I introduced Donald Tyson's book, Sexual Alchemy, last night, just talking about intercourse with spirits. And here's the other one, Way of the Secret Lover. It's called Sex, Magic, Tantra, and Tarot. Way of the Secret Lover is the subtitle. And so it's dealing with that mystical Don Juan. You see what I'm saying? That mystical beauty that's coming to both of us. Like I said, I had an experience with this thing this summer, and the first thing happens is ejaculation, which means the semen shoots up to the pineal gland. You see what I'm saying? Which is awesome, but the thing about it is, like I said, she had issues, so she didn't want to come back, because it was Santissima, and Santissima don't like, nope. And I was polite about it. I was just begging her to come back. But she said, I'll come back when I want to come back. So I had to get a damn ghost or spirit with fucking issues. You see what I'm saying? And I ain't seen the motherfucker since July. But anyway, let's repeat this. Each of us has a secret lover, a lover who awaits behind the erotic images that flood our minds during sexual arousal and in sleep. We're talking about dreams and the underworld. And that particular dream dimension is the real dimension. A dream lover who disguises as individuals in whom we fall in love with. So I told you yesterday that it's going to be these spirits, but these spirits are going to come either as people that you know or people that you had the hots for. See what I'm saying? I guess your own spirit know whatever thing floats your boat. You see what I'm saying? And all this kind of thing here. You see. Whatever thing floats your boat. So, a dream lover who disguises himself as individuals with those whom we fall in love. An ideal lover who has adored us since the beginning of our own individual existence, and who will never abandon us until the intent we merge our being in absolute Godhead. So in so many words, it will never abandon us until we merge our being into absolute Godhead. And that's the thing, what I was talking about yesterday. We are getting ready to have orgiastic fuck fest on the other realm. So we don't have to worry whether you TD Jakes or whatever. It don't matter. It ain't got shit to do with moralism. These motherfuckers is coming. And they're coming to do the freak thing. Boogaloo and all of that. You see what I'm saying? Or however you like it. You see what I'm saying? They're coming to do this. And you see, and so to merge with the Godhead. So this is an alchemical, sexual copulation or union with the spirit to raise ourselves to the Godhead. And this is what the book is bearing witness to. Now this is interesting because the Spirit came to me Friday and told me all how this thing was going down, and I have read this book since last summer. You see what I'm saying? If it was more than likely still in print. You see. We feel the embrace of the secret lover in ecstasy orgasm in its moments of rapture when the beauty of music, dance, and visual arts our nature overcomes us. Now, that's interesting because they're talking about beauty, music, art, and the arts as the archetypes are the arts and sciences, but mainly the arts. Music, visual arts, fragrances, or whatever type of entertainment that brings on the muse. You get the word amuse from the muse. A muse is midichlorians that they talk about in Star Wars. Midichlorians are microscopic organisms inside of the melanin, which is extraterrestrial civilizations. So when you see the movie Mummy Return, and you see all those Anubis warriors, they are inside of you. Gunners, Tammers, Russells, Collies, Ogiers, Shaktis. And these midichlorians that they talked about in the Star Wars The Phantom Menace is these particular extraterrestrial civilization that is inside of us, and that's the melanin. So these melanin are in actuality living entities called the muse, the mermaids, the melacines, the gnomes, the elves, and all these things that you have in fairy tales and in fantasy is inside of the actual melanin. So the muse, our muse, museum, music, you see what I'm saying? Is all that type of thing. You see, so it's key to get back to the music. You see, key to get back to the music, especially the music that was produced when Muses was running the show. Now this is interesting because there's an album, and we've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks, me and Brother Ade. It's an album that was done by Sly and the Family Stone, 1971, called There's a Riot Going On. And they got a Running Away on it, and it has a Family Affair on it. But they got some funky. Now this album is the archetype, or it is the pioneer piece for folk music. Prior to this album, they did one song, Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself, which Larry Graham invented a new bass line that would be the structure and the standard for the album in I think that was 1969. And then the album in 1971. Now, far prior to that, you had James Brown, who did his rendition, but that heavy bass line that later on became synonymous to funk, that heavy bass line was only through Larry Graham. We was talking, me and Brother Ade was talking about this, and even in the documentary, The History of Funk, even Bootsy Collins and them say, we'd like to take credit for it, but it was Larry Graham and Sly and the Family Stone. And that heavy bass line, because before that, the category of funk was James Brown, who basically is the father of it. But the bass line that would become synonymous to funk in the 70s was invented by Larry Graham, thank you for letting me be myself, and then later on was the blueprint for the 1971 album, A Riot Is Going On. Just giving you a history of the muse, because we know the stuff about jazz. Prior to that, it was James Brown, and probably one of the archetypes of funk at that time, it wasn't the heavy bass line, was also Junior Walker and the All-Stars. Real serious shit. I don't know nobody who don't get down with that. You put that motherfucker on, there's some real serious business going down. That Junior Walker don't be playing. So we have some people, it was gathering momentum. But Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself was basically one of the first folk songs, other than the James Brown being the pioneer. But that heavy bass line that would be the catalyst for doggone P-Funk, Funkadelics, Bootsy, and every other bad nigga that ever plucked the bass. Ohio Players, Barcades, Brothers Johnson, Thunder Thumbs and Lightning Licks. That was done by Larry Graham and Sly and them. Now, the thing about it was, the song The Riot Is Going On. I said, these motherfuckers got to be high when they was doing this shit. Because first of all, Sly Stone was a doggone DJ. So his music experience was fresh in the aspect that he wasn't trained by somebody in the past. So whenever you are green in something, you tend to create a new vogue. It's only when you follow somebody else, you see, that the muse cannot be created because it's already been created before. That's why they make sure now that even all the rap music has to have samples from stuff from the past, because they don't want to create a new muse. That's why all the samples. That's why they hired Puff Daddy. You see what I'm saying? And all these particular fools who just basically just come in and sample albums. That is because the government, at first it was innocent. We was doing it with the rap, but it was innocent. But they figured out this is the best way that the muse cannot be created again, to create a new vogue in music. So that's why the sample thing comes out. But when Sly Stone being a DJ and he started doing the stuff, man, I'm like, this nigga, first of all, this goddamn nigga got to be hot. On this album, this brother was just in the damn studio just trying out shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, God, they was just up in there just plucking and, you know, just making a damn mess of shit. But the shit came out funk. It's an album with the red, white, and blue flag on the cover. There's a riot going on, but it's a genius piece. But it is the first modern funk album in history, because that bass line was never done before that plucking before Larry Graham and Sly Stone. But I swear, these niggas, I said, man, you got to be drunk to damn do some shit. But that's when the muse comes out. When the rational and logical mind is surpassed and overhauled, then the muse comes out. That's why they got to have sampling now from the past, because the muse is a creative entity. And once it's created, it goes into the past. The muse has to keep creating, because that's what chaos is creative physics. And when it stops creating, that's why black people invent some shit and then they leave it. And then the white people pick it up. Most blues now is played by white people. You know, played by white people. And we went to go see, I got some free tickets to go see Jimmy Vaughn, which is Stevie Ray Vaughan's brother. And I noticed one thing about it. Although the music was good, they got it down to the science, but halfway in, about an hour into the concert, everything started sounding the same. So it was a repetition going on. But if it was some black people, the music, there would have been something new created. No matter how rigid the rules are, with Negroes, something new gonna be created in the shit. You know? Something new gonna be created in the stuff. You know, created right in the middle of some stuff. That spontaneous creation. You see what I'm saying? That's why we got a new way of coming up with fucking up or some so ignorant shit that tops the other ignorant shit every damn day. You see? So we are now the masters of screwing some shit up. And if you say, man, I've seen it all now, you ain't got to worry about it. Because a nigga a week later going to invent some new shit. That's genius, taking nothing and making something out of it. Or taking something fucked up and making it more fucked up. Or like they say, pissed off to the highest level of pistivity. You know what I'm saying? And there's going to be some new drama coming. But the muse has to keep creating or it dies or it goes dormant. So they know what they're doing in this particular aspect. That's why me and the brother Sky back here was talking about, if you notice all the black art is some real punktified stuff. You know, the black baby, the little Kenty Claus, the black love. You know, there ain't nothing real creative. Nothing real abstract and something that's just genius. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just, you can go out here to South DeKalb Mall. They got a whole thing of prints. And it's the same thing. Some black woman and some black man holding some torch and some flame. The people around the table. That same old shit. The black art, you know what I'm saying? You know, no creativity. Like somebody standing there like, you broke my heart, and somebody standing there with a knife in their chest or some shit like that. No, it's all the same old foolishness. The same old foolishness. So when we go see the Queen of the Damned, we going to miss out on the metaphysical thing because we ain't into none of that. Because it ain't got no kung fu in it. So they had to take the Matrix in hell when he was telling them about all the stuff that goes into the Matrix and stuff. The conscious people got it, or the people that was introduced to metaphysics. Other people was into the kung fu and the damn shooting up the place. You know what I'm saying? Then somebody go, oh, guess what? The Matrix was deep. You know, that kind of shit. You know, but Vanilla Sky, hands down, that's a bad baby. But most and all dead niggas saw it, say they hated it. You go out to the Dollar Flick out in Marietta. They got one in Marietta. Where else is the other one? Fayetteville, Lawrenceville. Go to the Dollar Flick and see it. Oh, they got a good bootleg out now. You know, they got 2 bootlegs. Now, you got to know your bootlegs now. Now, there's the bootleg where you go and they go into the theater the first day and the nigga walking past the screen. Then there is a full-length screening cassette. That's the bootleg where before they before the video stores order videos, they have a screening cassette that they send as like a promotional copy to the video stores that comes out a little earlier before it comes to Blockbuster, and that's one that the bootleggers also have. So know your bootleg videos. Always look, they call it Cadillacs. That's what the niggas on the street call. That's a Cadillac right there. And it's a full-length screening cassette. But any shit, like Queen of the Jam, if it come out, Queen of the Jam come out 12 o'clock Friday, it's ludicrous to get the damn tape the same day. Because you know that's some shit from the theater. You might as well pay the damn $5 or $8 and go see the movie while it's in the movie. While it's in the movie. So the muse, or the creative physics, that's why you got to go back, and you got to go back and reinvent the party. And go back and start jamming the classics, although that is created, but we ain't creating nothing new. But I would much rather have going to the classics, to the classical funk, when it was created and it was the original thing, than to go and get some new shit. You see what I'm saying? That's 5 or 6 albums I got in my damn house, and they call it that some new stuff. You see what I'm saying? So they make sure that that the muse doesn't get to a certain level, and that's what's happening. So the music is on lockdown. The music is on lockdown. You see what I'm saying? But the elixir plus music is number one. So the elixir plus music is number one. You see what I'm saying? Is number one. You know, and then wait about an hour or whatever, and then jump on the blue pill. Now, to say this again, the blue pill is the only one that can get you to dream time, because we've tried all the natural ones. And the natural ones do not get you to dream time because they are not alchemically produced, which is pharmaceutical. Changing and manipulating nature. Not nature, but the manipulation of nature. There's a difference. So the blue pill, unisom, or sleepanol, that's the green pill. Blue pill, get to jail. Blue pill or green pill, unisom or sleepanol. These are not sedatives to make you go to sleep. They just enhance the sleep when you do fall asleep. And you get dream time. And that's the key now. Going back to this particular science, the new frontier, the world that is to come, is in the dreams. It is in the dreams. And if in it, so, are anybody dreaming more now? Is a lot of people dreaming more now? Right. The dreams. But if you're not dreaming, get the blue pill. It's perfectly safe. It's over the counter. The blue pill or the green pill, and go to dream time. You see what I'm saying? Go to dream time, because the natural stuff, all the natural stuff does not produce the state outside of the matrix. It does not produce the state outside of the matrix. And what we're talking about is the outer gateways. The outer gateways. Here's a book called The Liquid Dreams of Vampires by Martin V. Ricardo. Martin V. Ricardo. That same dark messenger that's going to come to be your Don Juan or your princess or your shank booty queen or your urban cowboy or whatever. They talk about that same tall, dark, and handsome. That's the Dracula side. But in this case, we talking about a fine, foxy, hoochie mama, whatever. Just the girl that puts out. Now, I don't give a damn what kind of attitude she got, as long as she give up the booty in the dreams. You see what I'm saying? He could be on the grand piano or whatever, as long as she's giving it up. You see what I'm saying? So, this book here, Liquid Dreams of Vampires, this stuff is real archetypal imagery that is coming, and basically that is the hero of a damsel in distress. Oh, rescue me. You see what I'm saying? Then you rescue her, and then she blesses you for rescuing her. You see what I'm saying? Whatever. But this is the role playing. So Robert Johnson got a book called We. Get that book. Because whether we like it or not, romance is a Hermetic mystery. Is a whole Hermetic mystery. Because there were romantic things. You're found in a lot of the Egyptian literature. There's several Egyptian literature books. Miriam Litchum's 3 volumes of Egyptian literature. But the romance, we book this on the path of the psychology of a romantic love. He has another book on the shadow, and he explains that love is the shadow. Now remember, anytime in Jungian psychology you hear the word shadow, that's melanin. So love is melanin. Because love is the Damien, and that's another word for melanin. These ancient terms that were doggone degraded or thrown out as evil. You know, but get that particular romantic love. Another good, like I said, another good movie. Now, don't get, because now I know, because I see our people, we see a white movie and we get all mad. Look, we don't make shit. So don't get mad because the movies are white. It's not about the race. It's about the content. But get this movie called Deja Vu. Some good romantic movies. Get Deja Vu. Get the movie Photographing Fairies. Real good romantic movie. The Archetype. The movie Deja Vu is a real good romantic movie if you allow yourself to get into it. So don't, oh, it's so punctified, pussified movie. Look, the brother, the romance is not necessarily for the sister, because she's already captivated by that. It's for the brother to get up in the shit, like that movie, the Christopher Reeve movie, Somewhere in Time. Badass piece. The romance, so the whole romance thing is for the brother. It's like C. Freeman L. used to say, and like John Henry Clark used to say, man is not man, now less man is half woman. Woman is not woman, now less woman is half man. C. Freeman L. used to say, man should work on becoming more feminine, and women should work on becoming more masculine in the aspect of balance. Not becoming a masculine, but we're talking about working, developing interest in those particular avenues that you normally wouldn't develop interest in. You ever, if a brother, if you ever really get into the romance shit, there's a good romantic movie called From Noon Till 3 with Charles Bronson and his wife that died in 89. What's that woman name? Jill Ireland. It was a good movie, a romantic movie called From Noon Till 3. And all, there's some good romantic movie, not no Love Jones, we make one little movie, little Love Jones, some motherfucker with some poetry or whatever, Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? If that floats your vote, fine, but we ain't got but one. But I'm talking about a good, because they make sure that the romance cannot occur amongst black people on the cinema. You understand what I'm saying? That's policy. So in this case, what's some other good ones? Oh, that's a good one? Okay. All right. Okay, independent film. Okay. There's another one with Brandon Fraser. Chocolat. The Chocolat was good, because that also shows, Chocolat is a movie in a small town in France that was dominated by the church. And the woman moves in and starts stirring up this chocolate and turned the whole town out. You see what I'm saying? I turned the whole town out. But there's a movie, what's the name of that movie? The one with Brandon Fraser. Still Breathing. Still Breathing. And that was a thing where every man in the family saw their woman in a dream or in a vision before the woman appeared. And he saw this woman getting mugged. And I think, did he holler out and she heard him or something? But anyway, he ended up meeting and stuff, But it's all right. But the whole concept here is to get ready for the doggone lover. You can't beat it. So that's why in the rap industry, the one that is dominated from the 90s on up is orchestrated by the Jews and the Illuminati. And the whole concept here is the romance cannot be a part of it. Males have to be with males. The homeboy shit. And as a result, it has an effect on the culture now. You go to the AU Center, you will see the brothers with the brothers. And the sisters with the sisters. But the sisters are with the sisters talking about the goddamn brothers. But the brothers are with the brothers talking about everything but the damn sisters. Now this is some crazy stuff going on. And then it's some stuff going on, I look and I'm like, damn, I said, well, when I was in college, man, what we would do is we'd get out of class and we'd head straight to the girls' dormitory. They'd get up on the babes. And we had a house across the honeycomb hideout. And we had the honeycomb hideout, and we would invite the girls over, and we would take the chairs and throw them out the window. Because if we put the chairs on the front porch, the girls would grab the chairs and come back in the house with them. And they'd sit in the chair. The key is to get them to sit on the bed. So we take the chair. So what we would do, we would take the honeycomb hideout, and we take the chairs and throw them out the back door of the window, because we put them on the front porch, them girls will go and find that chair. And they're going to find the chair and sit in the chair. So we put throw the chairs out the window. When they come, so like we don't have no chairs, they have to sit on the bed. And then when they get on the bed, we make the move, one of them WWF wrestling things, where you take the forearm like this, the clothesline, hit the neck, and then you follow like this into that damn system. It's a food move. So they sit on the bed. They sit on the bed like this. Then you do that figure four, that what you call it. The figure four is a sex hold. I'll teach you that in a minute. And you go with that forearm, you gently hit that neck clothesline style, and when you hit that neck clothesline style, you come like this, and you got it. Be in the pocket. But the key here is, if they don't think you got no chairs, they will sit on the bed. So we take all the chairs and throw them out the window.